What's up? It is your boy Les, nevertheless Thomas, representing Brand Squad Podcast. I'm here with my man Keegan. What's up, guy?
Nothing much. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing outstanding. How about you?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
That's what I'm talking about, man. So how's your day been today?
It's been pretty good. You know, I'm not gonna lie. OG Fortnite came back, so I've been grinding all morning long. All morning long with some friends on that.
So you're all about Fortnite, huh? Are
a
you
little
good?
bit. A little bit.
Are you good?
Well, it depends on what you mean by good. You know.
Do you make your teammates mad?
Yeah. One of them I make really mad. You know. One of them likes me a little bit more. So yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So you've been like grinding away on that, huh?
But we've been gaming. You know, we got the freshmen on the cross country team. We got a little bit of a break since we finished up our season, and so yeah, I've just been laying back playing Fortnite and eating a ton of candy.
And you deserve that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah,
a hard
nice.
season. So, well, Keegan, man, we just want the people to know about you, man. So let's start when you were a child, a kid. What's some of your favorite moments in your childhood?
One of the favorites. So I grew up with 3 older brothers.
Okay.
And both of my parents were teachers, so we didn't have a ton of money growing up. But I do remember one day, it was Christmas morning. I might have been like 10 years old at the oldest.
Yeah.
And I walk out before all my older brothers get up, and I see a Wii with a Lego Rock Band drum set in the living room.
Okay.
And so I wake all my brothers up. I'm like, guys, we got this in the living room. We got this in the living room, boys. And none of them were believing me until they got up. And so that was one that was always fun. Was jamming out for like 24 hours on Lego Rock Band on that Wii.
So, you're the youngest?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, I'm a baby too, so I already know. It's
Yeah.
like, so, did y'all share it? Were y'all kind to each other? Did y'all fight like brothers? Did y'all like, oh, I got my turn, your turn? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, there seemed to be a lot more picking on the younger child.
Yeah,
You know, so the older 3 seemed to love sharing things, and then whenever it came down to me, they were always like, you know what, nah, we'll push you back. You know, mom and dad leave for the afternoon. They're all watching TV. He can go in the back of the house. Go in the back of the house. We don't want you out here. So you know, there was always some of that. But yeah, we had a ton of fun together.
I love it. The youngest seem like they always get the hardest time from all the siblings.
Oh, absolutely.
That's usually because the youngest is baby. You know.
Absolutely.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So what was your favorite things to do? Like, were you an outside kid? Was you a gamer? Did you play basketball? What did you do when you was around the age of 5, 6, 7? What sort of things you loved?
So my dad was heavily influencing us to do soccer as a kid.
Okay.
So outdoors was definitely something that we would always do. We would do 3v3 tournaments in the summer.
Yeah.
And soccer, and then play some fall ball and some spring ball all the time. So soccer was what dominated a lot of that.
Okay.
And then we would game a little bit, but it was never anything crazy. It would always be like third-party games that nobody would ever have heard of on like the computer that we would find on really wacky websites, and we would look on them and we'd be like, guys, this is kind of fun playing.
That's actually pretty cool. I'm not sure if people even know to do that.
No. I mean, we would just like I remember one day my brother he would like get on a site like called onemorelevel.com and we would just grind games for a couple hours at a time. You know, especially in those summers.
That's super cool right there, man. So, what was it like growing up in your home? Like, I mean, so you're right here from Stillwater, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, man, right here, born and raised. Come on, man. Like, so you believe orange all the way through and through. So,
Heck yeah.
tell us, what was it like growing up here in Stillwater? I mean, you always thought that you would see the stadium. We went to school here. What was it?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird. Like, I didn't really realize that we were like a big college town until high school. So growing up, a lot of the times, like me and my friends and my family, like, we would just be acting like any other schoolboy. You know, we would go jump on trampolines Saturday afternoons, go grab some Nerf guns and some Nerf swords and hit each other with them. You know, so like childhood was a lot of just playing and fooling around. But then obviously both of my parents are in the education system, so they're both math teachers, both very smart.
Oh.
So you know, not doing too great in math classes was never really an option for me, even though it
No
kept
option.
on kind of happening a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't inherit the math gene as much as two of the three of my older brothers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of outdoors times, but then they would always like make sure that we were doing our best in school as well.
Well, so you had 2 in-house tutors that can help you with that, which is a good thing. So
yeah, it's always strange, you know. Like they would kick all my friends whenever I would go into like upper level math class. They'd be like, "Keegan, you got a tutor at home," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really use them. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really use them." But we definitely do see that they're math teachers when it comes to like family movie night.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be wanting to watch like a comedy, and my dad will turn on some math documentary just to drive us nuts, right? You know. And so that's always
during movie night.
During movie night, you know, we're all like
shout out to Dad, man.
Yeah, like yeah, Dad, you're great, but I wanted to watch Thor, and you're over here turning on like an Apollo mission documentary, you know, and I'm like, let me live a little.
This is a good time to get it off your chest, man.
Yeah. In front of everybody, Dad, I love you, but come on, we gotta.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. What was your family dynamic like? You know, you said 2 math teachers and 5 kids, right?
Four of us, yeah.
Four of y'all. So, what was that like in your home, man? Like, you know, every home is different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So it was a ton of fun, obviously, and especially now. So the oldest is 6 years older than me, and then 4 years and 3 years older than me, and so I was the lone one in the house for a little while once they all went off to college, and I kind of realized really quickly, I need my brothers at home, you know, because like I'll be making movie references, my parents aren't getting them, and I'm just like, if only one of them was here, you know.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, the dynamic there was a ton of fun. You know, we would laugh, we would have fun with each other, and a couple of us would get on each other's nerves quite often. But then whenever sports came around or anything, we were right back playing together in the backyard and stuff. So that was always a ton of fun.
Well, I mean, that's part of being brothers, you know. You know, you don't give each other a hard time.
Oh yeah.
So you mentioned like soccer was the thing in your home. Were there any other sports that you played?
No, our family is not very talented with hand-eye coordination. So any time that there was a football or a basketball in the house, it was because a friend brought it over. It was not because that belonged in our house, right? So I would try to play other sports, and I just couldn't. Yeah. I was physically unable to play basketball. I remember there was a time I was out on a mission trip, and one of the sponsors told me to stuff the kid. I hit him smack dab in the face. I did not stuff the ball from him. I nailed him right in the face.
You went for the ball and just...
I just nailed him. And so from that moment on, I hung up the anything other than foot-eye coordination or just running in general. You know, so...
Got you.
Yeah,
so you mentioned a mission trip. Where did you go? Have you been on more than one? Is that a passion of yours?
Yeah, so we're a heavily Christian family. So we would we go to church here at Sunnybrook Christian Church, and it's a ton of fun there. And so whenever I was in junior high and high school, we would go to mission trips in inner city Dallas to help out a couple of churches that just needed help.
Yeah.
I remember one year, some of the older guys would like put a brand new roof on one of the churches in like a day, while the young guys were putting up fences and stuff.
Okay.
So we would do a lot of stuff like that. That was always trying to help the community, but also try and help a local church that just needed it.
Yeah. I'm passionate about mission trips too. It's funny how you can go on a mission trip and you're going to help them, but you end up being impacted yourself.
Yes,
because,
absolutely.
Like, you appreciate what you have, and
absolutely.
You know, when you see what they need, it's like, yo, my life is better than what I thought.
Yes. Putting it all into perspective is such a blessing every single time.
That's cool, man.
Absolutely.
So when did you start running? Like, you know, we're gonna get to like when you realized you were good, but like, how did you start running? Did your parents tell you to run? Did the coach ask you? Or?
Well, it was kind of because the parents told me to run. So my dad, for a long time, taught at Stillwater High in the math department. But then he, once I went to middle school in 5th grade, he went over to Meridian Technology. Okay. And so that starts pretty early in the morning. So that's how I would get to school. He would take me to middle school before the doors opened, and then he would go over to teach. And so once cross country season started in 6th grade, he was like, "Keegan, you're doing nothing for like 20 minutes before school. Just go do that. You know, do something." And I was absolute trash. I was probably the worst runner on the entire team.
Really?
Yeah, I was not very proud about it, but I was the kid who would sprint at the beginning, and then as soon as you take a corner, when everybody's out of eyesight, I would immediately stop. And then, because I was dying, you know. And then as soon as I saw a pretty girl on the team that I had a crush on, who was cheering everybody on, went right back into full gear until I turned it on the corner, and then I slowed it way down.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's how you got in it. Mm-hmm. When did you like realize, man, I'm actually pretty good at this, so I can do something with it? Yeah.
So 6th grade, we were absolutely terrible, and then 7th grade, I started medaling at a couple meets, and I was kind of realizing this is kind of fun. I don't just do it because I have to get to school early anymore, you know. Yeah. And then in 8th grade, me and 2 of my other friends, we were just having a ton of fun with it, and me and a friend of mine, KK Abai, he actually plays soccer at Boston. Yeah. And we would like trade off whoever beat each other at races, right? We were just having a ton of fun with it. Yeah. And then 8th grade track rolls around, and I'm like, I can run a decently fast mile. So I would go out there and I would run, and it was a ton of fun. Yeah. And then I didn't realize that I could go anywhere with it until 9th grade. mainly because we were going into cross-country season, and I was talking to one of the seniors on the team, and I was really nervous about making varsity.
Yeah.
He's like, Keegan, relax, you'll make varsity. Yeah. And I was like, no, man. And so we go out to do our mile time trial, which is how the coach decided who was on varsity or not. And I won it, and I was like,
as a freshman.
As a freshman, right? And so I was like, okay,
come on.
I can win stuff as a freshman against high schoolers. We might be able to do something.
Yeah, there we go.
So that's how it kind of, and then it just kind of kept on snowballing.
Yeah.
With lessons all after that.
So how does it work? Like, you know, I mean, you're winning. How does like recruiting or college or universities, like, how does that work? Is it just like football and basketball? We want to make sure that people know how recruiting works.
Yeah, so I would say it's quite a bit different than football and basketball, and it's getting a little bit more similar to it nowadays as like, oh, you got really good sophomores and juniors now, so college is now going to look at you from a sophomore and junior year maybe, and then kind of follow you up to that. My experience is quite a bit different because I was not D1 material until senior year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, okay. So I had dealt with an injury and a big injury every year up until senior year. I got a new coach. Shout out to Chad Noel. Man's a G. Man's awesome.
What's up, Chad?
And so he coached me from Boulder, Colorado. So he and I would do online coaching. Wow. And so I saw like a 30-second improvement in my 5K time just after 6 months of working with him. And so once I won cross country state as a senior, that's when I was able to contact OSU here and be like, hey, could we, maybe talk about me joining the squad and everything. And Coach Smith was really kind about it, and he was like, absolutely. And so, like, I joined it, but only as a walk-on because I joined so late, right? And then it wasn't until indoor season and outdoor track that, like, my times really showed for what they could be because I had finally gone through a full year without any injuries. And so it wasn't until really late May, early June of this year that I finally was able to get some scholarship and get some aid from being a national runner-up at a national meet.
Come on, man. So you worked your way up.
Yeah, we started from ground zero.
Yeah.
And we made it to the top a little bit. Yeah.
So when you were in high school, did you like think of attending OSU? Did you consider like, man, I want to get away since I'm from here? A lot of young people, they're like, I want to get miles away from my parents. You didn't. How did you feel about it?
I'd always kind of thought, well, it would be fun to go to other places, but at the same time, I love this town.
Yeah.
It's a good place. It's a great place to hang out with friends.
Shout out to Stillwater.
Heck yeah. And so I was like, I could go to other places, but I don't really want to.
Yeah.
Like there were a couple other schools that I was looking at, but none of them were super receptive back to me like OSU was. And so I was like, I got the best coach here, I got the best team here. I'm gonna go anywhere else, So that's kind of how it all kind of happened. So there was some little thoughts about going other places, but not really where I wanted to.
Your support here, your parents is here, So before we jump into college, what were some of your favorite things to do while you were in high school? Like, what does a day look like, or a week, or something that you look forward to doing?
Yeah, so there were two things that I really enjoyed in high school. One of them was going to Meridian Technology Center. So I actually got taught by my dad.
Okay.
He was my AP Physics teacher.
Oh wow.
I was not the best AP Physics student. Sorry, father. He was a coding instructor there, and a digital electronics instructor there. And so I got to have him as a teacher for 3 courses. So that was a ton of fun.
So what was that like? Did he have talked with you like, son, now when we go, I'm gonna have to treat you like everyone else? I mean, did y'all have that?
Well, kind of no. Whenever he treated me differently, it was not in a positive light. Like he would like pull up a race, and he'd be like, guys, look at what Keegan was able to do this weekend. And to me, I'm like, I look like an idiot running. I'm not controlled or anything. I got my head flung back and everything. And he's just showing the entire class, and I'm like, oh goodness, what's going on here? Yeah. So that was a ton of fun. And then high school football games. Senior year, our team was good enough. We won the state title, and so that was a ton of fun. Being in the student section, being on the Spirit Squad and stuff like that was a ton of fun. Those are 2 different moments that I like really enjoyed in high school.
That's cool, man. So here it is. You coming to O State. You're excited about it. Tell us, what was it like? What's the difference between high school and what you got here?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So in high school, I did all of my training on my own.
Okay.
I was up at 6 a.m. out on the cross-country course by 7, just doing everything by myself. And here I have teammates, which is weird for me to like have people to run with. not just on easy runs, but on workouts.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so like there'll be a train of like 13 of us around the track, and I'm like, I'm having to run behind people. What's all this about? You know, I never heard of that before, and so that's been really fun and really like encouraging because like I have teammates around me who can help me out. You know, so that's a ton of fun. And then
does it push you to get better? Like
absolutely. Part of it, there's a little bit of a pride issue there. Like I'm like, I don't want this kid to beat me. What are we doing? But then it's also like whenever somebody's struggling in a workout, you're there to help them out too. You know, and so it's such a great brotherhood that can be formed there, and it's a ton of fun. So like that aspect of it is a ton of fun. And then I mean, schooling wise, not much has changed, to be honest. You know, like the freedom that I had senior year.
Yeah.
It's like part of me feels like I'm basically still in high school with my friends, and now I'm just on the best running team in the nation. You know?
Yeah.
So there's a ton of.
Say that again. The best what?
Oh, we're the best running team in the nation.
Let them know.
We're taking home that national title this year. The guys are doing insane work.
Come on. Now let's go ahead and talk about that, man. I mean, you won state, but we're talking about national.
Yeah.
Right, nationwide. Like, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm not even good. I won state. I'm not even good enough to be on that national squad. You know, Coach redshirted all the freshmen, which makes sense. Yeah, and I'm totally.
You still get a ring.
Maybe I don't know. I wouldn't mind.
I don't know. Well, maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
Shout out to Coach, man.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are.
Get him in a ring, man. I mean, I can say it. You know what I'm saying? I can say it.
I don't know what the rules are on that, but what I do know is the top 7 guys are absolutely insane. They are so good, so talented, but their work ethic is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, one of them goes to bed at like 7 or 8:30 every day.
Discipline.
I tried that. I could not.
He said he tried.
I tried it. I think Jonas Price is the one who goes to bed super early, and I tried it. I could not do it to save my life. Like I tried getting to bed at 8:30. I couldn't do it. I had to do it at 9:30. And so like their level of discipline. Yeah. It's just outside anything that.
So do you think he'll do that in the off season, or that's just mainly in the in season?
You know, I mean, the guys, they're so disciplined. I wouldn't be surprised if they carry that over.
Yeah.
Into their daily lives of just, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's go to bed early again and then get up early and run in the morning. You know, I could totally see that happening for sure. So
tell us about because again, this is like a one-on-one class with you, man. So like, tell us about the workout. You know, do you all, because I mean, gaining a lot of muscle really doesn't help you. So like, how do you get in? What's your all's way of getting in shape? I know you probably work out. I mean, is it to like just to get stronger, not bigger, not gain muscle? What is the typical body supposed to be?
Yeah. So coach doesn't really have us lift very much. He doesn't have the men's team lift a lot.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it is really just building up your aerobic engine. Okay. Making it.
Now explain the aerobic engine.
Yeah. So
what is that?
I'm gonna explain it the best that I can. I'm still kind of a newbie in this role. Okay. But it's basically you have your aerobic engine, which is how hard you can work for a long amount of time, and then your anaerobic is like your sprint level work.
Okay. Okay.
And so the stronger you can make your aerobic engine, the faster you're going to be able to hold a certain pace for a longer amount of time.
Okay.
Right. So if I can go out and run a 5-minute mile pace, but then I'm gassed by the end of that mile, well, now we're just simply going to work on, well, can we make that 5-minute mile pace last for a mile and a half? And so he's going to structure workouts, and he does structure a lot of those workouts to help you get that same speed, but it be able to feel like a little bit of a lighter effort, and you're able to carry it for a much longer time. Okay. And so that's a lot of what we do. So yeah, we don't do a ton of lifting, and so it's really just get your preventative injury work in. You know, keep your stretching on top, keep up your rolling on top.
So stretching is important.
Stretching, foam rolling is very essential to what we do. If you don't have full range of motion, you're not going to be able to work towards your best ability.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what I found in my personal experience.
Gotcha.
And so it's been a ton of fun doing that.
Yeah, I saw a video one time with Muhammad Ali when he was talking about running. He was saying like that moment when you want to give up, when you want to stop, when you want to like throw up, and your body says I'm done. Like you have to keep going.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's how you like increase.
Absolutely, yeah. That's where you have that mental structure of if you can't, like you have to be able to fight in those tough races because we're out here. They're out there running 10K races.
So let's break this down. So again, this is class 101 with you. What is a typical? How long is a race? Like break that down.
Yeah. So in high school you race 5K.
Okay.
So that's 3.1 miles. But in college, they do 8K, which is about 4.9, 5.1 mileage, and then, but they do that until your regional and national meet, where they do 10K, and so that's around 6 miles.
Wow.
And so that's what's so key about your aerobic engine. You have to last for 6 miles out there, going as hard as you can, because it's the nation's best against the nation's best competing with each other, right? But then you also are having to kind of realize, well, I'm running a 6-mile race, but at some point in the race, it's going to feel like a 400-meter race.
Okay.
Right? So there's a lot of that aspect on there going with it, and so you'll go anywhere from 8K to 10K in the postseason.
What are some of the schools that, like, when you say, I know we're the best in the nation, who are some of the other schools that's known for
their running? Yeah, so NAU, Northern Arizona University, is a very good school. Okay. They're a great program. I think we are better. We are
not good as us.
They aren't as good as us. Okay, those guys are training up at altitude, and we'll still smoke them this year.
Smoke.
Respectfully.
I'm being disrespectful.
He'll be disrespectful to you. He'll be disrespectful.
Y'all not better than us, man.
We get in that ring, So NAU, very good. BYU, they're pretty good. However, if you'll look back at the conference meet that we just did, we put up 25 points and they put up 55, so we kind of smoked them. Because the way cross country is, it's a lot like golf. You want as little points as possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got to
break that. Yeah. For any newbies, they did not. 55 points is not good.
The lower points, the better.
Lower points, the better. So if you're first place, you're coming in with 1 point.
Okay.
If you're fifth place, 5 points, so on and so forth. So we came in 25 points.
Yeah.
BYU kind of had like 55, I think.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, two is not a winner and 3 nobody remembers, man.
Dang straight.
I mean, it's kind of how it goes, man.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just get a little personal, man. So you've been in Stillwater for a long time. Where's your give me your Mount Rushmore of eating places in Stillwater. Come on, somebody.
So I'm a big Asian food person.
Okay.
So Golden Dragon and misos.
Yeah.
Are
amazing.
They're so good.
Okay.
However, sometimes I'm like, I don't really want to sit down for that long, so I'll just go and grab Panda. I'll go and get like fast food Panda.
Okay.
And then the moment I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But beforehand I'm like, I could really get some Panda. So yeah, miso's Golden Dragon.
You got 2 more.
Those are my okay.
Okay, so Asian for 2. What's your other 2 places?
Oh goodness. Mexico Joe's is really good. We got the Joe's family up in here, and so those are really good places. And then just Texas Roadhouse. I like ours here. It's pretty good.
Texas Roadhouse, it goes hard. Fried pickles?
Yes. I went there with my parents just a couple weekends ago, and I got those for the first time, and they were so good.
Amazing.
The fact that I have lived 19 years, and that was the first time I had fried pickles, was kind of hurtful, but I am grateful now because those were so good.
Dude, they are so good. I love it, man. So, I mean, let's talk about this too. So, what's your favorite place to hang out in Stillwater? Like, outside of the food places, what would you say?
Let's see here. Honestly, what part of what's fun is just going over to people's houses. So, I work with an organization called K-Life, and it's a Christian organization where we bring in youth and we just teach them. And so the K-Life building is one of my favorite places to be at. They have
shout out to K-Life.
Yeah, shout out to K-Life. We have an actual building where we hang out with the kids, and then there's a little bit of a college house right next to it. That has been where I've been for the past 5 hours, grinding on Fortnite.
I love it.
And so it's like that.
You're hanging with like-minded people, and you're having fun.
Absolutely, we're having fun. So that might be my favorite place to hang out at. That, and then there's also one place that I cannot leave out, Aspen Coffee House.
Which one?
I like the Fountain Square location. Okay. So it's a ton of fun. I have a ton of people. Like every time that I go in there, I know at least 5 people that are there. Whether they're working or they're just sitting down studying.
Man, I went there for the first time about a month ago. I didn't even know it was there.
Oh my gosh.
I've always been to the other one.
It's so much fun. The vibe there is a ton of fun.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, so on the top of every refrigerator, and for some people pantry, they have this thing that we love to put milk in, right? So what would be your Mount Rushmore of cereals?
Oh goodness.
Come on, cereal.
Yeah, so Honey Chex.
Okay, Honey Chex.
I cannot tell you why, but that is like my top number 1. It has no business being number 1 on my list, but for some reason Honey Chex is
really.
I could not tell you why.
Okay.
But whenever I see that on the store, I'm like, I got get.
Honey Checks.
I gotta get a box of Honey Checks. Honey Checks, huge one. Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
That's my go-to. And then number 3. Oh goodness, what would be number 3? I'm probably gonna have to go with Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
Go OG.
Yeah, you can't fail with Captain Crunch.
No.
You got one more.
I got one more. Oh goodness, it's like the ones that are like little cookies. Like little cookies, you know what I'm talking about? They got a dog on the front of the box, and they're little cookie, like chocolate chip cookie ones. I don't know what they're called.
It's
not the Cocoa Puffs. Although that's
cookie,
really good.
Cookie Crispy.
Cookie Crisp. I think it's like Cookie Crisp. I think that's Cookie Crisp.
Okay,
so good. That's probably number 4 right there.
Yeah, I like those, man. You did not name one that I would name, but that's cool.
Well, what do you got?
I would say Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I would say Apple Jacks. I would probably say Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Apple Jacks. Man, I actually love Raisin Bran without the raisins though.
So you just like bran?
But it's different. Like the raisin gives it like a hint of something. I've tried the bran and it's not the same.
Okay.
You got to get the Raisin Bran, and I take my sweet little time and take
them out individually. Okay.
Yeah. And I can go with Honey Nut Cheerio too. You know what I mean?
So classic.
Yeah, I love cereal though. Like but I mean, it's not good for me. It's not good for my body. All right, so last one. Your Mount Rushmore of drinks, like when you're training or running after a race, before a race, what would you say your Mount Rushmore?
So the pinnacle of it, especially in season, is going to be Pedialyte.
Okay.
I like that I want the baby juice. It's so good. It's so good.
You sweat so much. So.
Yeah. My sister-in-law makes fun of me when I have it. She calls me a baby. And,
yeah.
You know, I don't care. It's so good.
It works for you.
I probably shouldn't have these 2 in season, but I have them like crazy. I have apple juice. A lot.
Apple juice go hard though.
And I eat chocolate milk. I have a lot, and it's kind of good, but probably not to the extent of how much I have it. Like I remember like with my meal plan, like the first couple of weeks in college, I was like, I can buy as much chocolate milk as I want. So I went and I got 4 half gallons.
You did.
And I finished them by the end of the week. And I was like, okay.
4?
Yeah, I had 4. I stocked my fridge up. And I had to take a little bit of a step back from it because I was like, okay, this isn't.
Yeah, to practice. You started thinking about your teammates.
I started thinking about. I was like, yeah, you know what? I gotta be up at like 4:30 tomorrow for Saturday practice. Probably not the best to have like 2 gallons of chocolate milk sitting in the bottom of my stomach.
Gotcha.
So those 2, those 3. We got we have Pedialyte, apple juice, chocolate milk, and then anytime I can get a cold Dr. Pepper on my hands, I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man. Anytime I can have a cold Dr. Pepper.
I'm not sure if anything when you're hot. Not sure what beats a cold Dr. Pepper.
It really doesn't.
So we're gonna do this. We're gonna land the plane here in a second. But you talked about like faith being important to you. What would you say your favorite scripture is?
Oh goodness, there are a lot. Hebrews 12:1 is a big one. That one is, therefore, since we are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses, let's throw off everything that entangles in the sin that so easily traps us, and let us run with perseverance the race set out for us. And so, as a runner, that's one that I'm like, okay, I can connect.
Shout out to God for putting that in.
Right? Yeah. Let's go. And so that's one that's always out there for sure.
Yeah. That's cool, man. So we want to make sure that everyone can stay in contact with you, man. If they want to follow you on social media. So let's see if you know your social media handles.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Let's see. Instagram, Twitter.
I don't have Twitter. Okay. I don't think I have Twitter. It's possible that's on my phone. But if it is,
that's not a bad thing.
If it is, I haven't opened that thing in like 5
Well, I guess it's called X now or whatever. That's so crazy.
Yeah. After all that, his
yeah.
I think I dropped. Oh, okay.
Well, can they like search you? Maybe they can look for Keegan Thomas.
I think they could look for Keegan Thomas. I think it's Thomas.Keegan21.
Okay.
21 was my soccer number because
where'd it come from?
I don't know. It was like a weird meme where anytime somebody would say 21, they would say it in a weird voice. It's like 21, And so anytime the referee, so like in soccer, the referee, he would like have us line up and he would like call our names and we would give him our number, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm here, I'm a cool kid. He'd be like Keegan Thomas, 21, and I'm right? And I'm like. And like looking back on that, I'm an idiot for putting that in my social media tag. But I'm like, I stand by it.
Bro, I am about to start listening to how everybody in this world says 21.
It's just,
people just kind of like.
I just started saying it because like I heard it on like some like Vine or something one day, and then I'm like that's kind of cool, so I just stuck with it.
All right, that's cool. Hey, I thought maybe it was Deion Sanders or something, but no, it's because people say it funny.
It's because people said it funny, and you know, as like
say it again.
21. It's like, you know, as a 12-year-old, I'm like, bro, this is the coolest thing in the world.
I love it.
Saying a weird number.
I love it. You was 12, backwards is 21.
Right. Yeah.
So shout out to Keegan, man. It's been great having you on here, man,
you.
and hearing your story. Everybody go follow Keegan and keep up with. And by the way, we're family. My last name is Thomas. We just found out that we're cousins. We don't even need to do a DNA test. It is what it is. We Cowboy family, and our last name is Thomas. So shout out to all the Thomases in the world. You're the best out there. My name is Les, nevertheless Thomas, representing Bread Squad Podcast. It's been a pleasure hanging with you.
Thank you for having me.